Alright, welcome back. It's part 2 of my DVD collection. And this one right here is one of my favorite DVDs. This is really nothing that special. It's mainly matches of The Undertaker. They go in chronological order for all the matches. And they show promos from the feud or whatever. There's a guy talking over a narrator, so it's pretty cool though because it's got some really good matches on here. His matches with Shawn Michaels from '97. His feud with Kane, I should say. The matches weren't that special, but the feud was awesome. Versus Mankind, which those matches were great, especially the King of the Ring match, the Hell in a Cell. It's got matches versus The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H at WrestleMania 17, Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell. I love that match. His match versus John Cena from Vengeance 2003, which was a pretty good feud leading up to that match. His match versus Kane from WrestleMania 20 when he returned as the Dead Man. I love this DVD, a 3 DVD set of The Undertaker. And this one is, like, this movie was tailor-made for me. I love documentaries. Any documentary, I'll watch it. Not to mention a wrestling documentary. I love this movie. It's a great movie, especially all the commentary from the director, Barry Blaustein. Of course, if you haven't seen Beyond the Mat and you're a wrestling fan, go watch it. It's spectacular. It covers ECW, WWF, some backyard stuff. Jake the Snake Roberts. This is probably one of the most interesting DVDs, well, I should say interesting biographies I've ever seen on a DVD. It's just the story of Jake Roberts is ridiculous. The things that he's been through and the things he's still going through too. Plus you get great matches from back then. His matches with Honky Tonk Man, Ricky Steamboat, when he went to WCW and fought Sting. And then his feud with Jerry the King Lawler from '96. So this is a pretty cool one. I got this one from GameStop for really cheap too. It came with a slipcover. Still have the slipcover, but usually don't use it. One thing I did want to bring up with this DVD though is I got this from Hollywood Video because they were going out of business and it was a ridiculous sale. And I found this one. I had to get it. So No Mercy, 2005. This was a month before Eddie died. You'll get the heavyweight title match between Batista and Eddie Guerrero. This was in Houston, Texas too, so pretty close to home for Eddie. Undertaker versus Randy Orton and Cowboy Bob Orton in the casket match. The first ever handicap casket match as they advertised it. Benoit versus Booker T versus Christian versus Orlando Jordan for the United States title. Rey Mysterio versus JBL. LOD and Christy Hemme versus Eminem. Nunzio versus Juventud Guerrera in a Cruiserweight Championship match. Hardcore Holly versus Mr. Kennedy, and then Bobby Lashley versus Simon Dean before Bobby Lashley got all egotistical and it all went to his head. But this is an okay pay-per-view, but I got it in one of the GameStop sales, so I decided to pick it up. Here's another GameStop buy, Slammiversary 2007. This was actually $9.99, but I didn't have any TNA DVDs, so I wanted to pick this one up. The matches are they're okay. Most notable thing about this is Chris Harris got a TNA World Title shot. This was before he turned into the overstuffed sausage that you saw on ECW. And The rest of the card is kind of bland, but I wanted it, so picked that up. WrestleMania 21. Another bland WrestleMania for me. It's got its moments. I mean, this is most notably... I mean, that picture right there says it all. John Cena won the WWE Championship from JBL. And then Batista won the World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H. Apparently I have a disc missing. It's probably in a DVD player somewhere in the house. It's just this... I like the promos for it. The first Money in the Bank match happened here. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, one of my all-time favorite matches. But really, other than that, there just wasn't much to talk about. And Randy Orton versus Undertaker is a really good match, too. I guess I just don't give this one enough credit. Looking back on it, it had its moments and matches, so that's that. This one I got for Christmas, like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was 3. Year 1 of TNA. And this is really... I started watching TNA in 2004, so I love to catch up on anything that I missed, any history. It's got matches like Jerry Lynn versus AJ Styles versus Senshi, and ladder matches. AMW, it's got a couple matches of theirs. Jeff Jarrett versus Raven. So, all in all, this is an okay DVD. The biography or the little documentary is pretty boring, but it is what it is.